All right, it's 3 o'clock. Let's call the minute to order. And first of all, I'm happy to be back. And I'm also happy to see so many people in the audience. I think this is incredible. Never seen so many people here. All right, so we need to approve the minutes for the August 9, 2021 meeting. I thought they were approved already. No? Okay. So does anybody have anything to say or change on that August 9 meeting? Okay, so we need a motion to approve.
I vote to approve the meeting minutes.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, approved. Alrighty, new business. So we have a mural proposal for 155 South Juniper. The artist is Tristan Pitard, which I already known. He has a beautiful piece in Escondido art. So go for it, Tristan.
Okay, hi. Can you hear me now?
No?
You have to turn it on.
No.
Yeah.
I think you're on now. I'm on now?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Tristan Pitard. Thank you for having me. So yeah, this place is this mural. I'm calling it Nobody / Exhibit. And you can see from the main subject is this mythical sky whale creature with some pre-Columbian Central American art inspiration. And it's a chimera of a whale because of the emotional attachment that it has with people, with the audience, and also the lionfish just has such wild features and fins. So I wanted to put those together. And there's a further message that says to the public as they get closer to an experience. It says, "I'm just a sky whale, but you, human, are the caretaker of this world." And then if they inspect it further, there's this interview between Exhibit / Nobody and somebody. And I say, "What is your name?" "My name is Nobody." "Excuse me?" "My name is Exhibit. He who talks loud says nothing." "I thought you said your name was Nobody." "I prefer to be called Nobody." And the idea is to leave people, once they approach it and inspect it a little further, pondering the message there, and also pondering their place in the world. Like we're all a part of this community of Escondido, but also on this planet, and we all have a role to play in it. So that's one of the main goals of it. Also, one of the goals was to make it striking, make people see it. What does that, impact their life in that moment as they see it. The location is pretty prime, in my opinion, right in the heart of downtown. From Heritage Park at Juniper and Grand, you can see it. It will be the third mural that you can see from that location. So that's the skinny of the mural itself. I do have a potential sponsor lined up for some solar lighting, a local solar and roofing company. Either way, we are going to change the lighting. Put 3 goosenecks up with some LED lighting, energy efficient, things of that nature. You'll see there's a sign here. Obviously that won't work because this is a piece of public art. It's for the public. So what I've spoken with the owner about, as well as the appearance committee, is running a horizontal pole off the parapet over the sidewalk and to hang a sign that gives visual signage to all of the businesses there. There's actually 5. Let's see. The application's really standard. Kind of goes over all of this, so you can peruse that on your time. Budget. The total I'm requesting is $14,000. The total project cost, including materials, my fees, equipment at current availability, is $16,000. However, the owner of the building, Tony, Antonio Medina, is going to contribute $2,000 to the project, and he's planning on helping in some other ways. That said, I do endeavor to come in under budget. My understanding of the way this Public Art Commission grant is written is that for things such as scissor lifts and really all the materials, all these hard costs, that receipts will be submitted and essentially reimbursed on that. And I've already reached out to some local small businesses for some of the major equipment, like the scissor lift, commercial grade spray equipment, and that I believe I can reduce the cost somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000 within that range. But I don't want to, cut myself off at the ankles before I get into it. So this is where we're at. Obviously, the owner is 100% on board. He loves it. And I will say that the feedback that I've gotten from the community is almost to a person. Like they love it. They're like, oh, I want to see this. I have to see this. The municipal gallery, which looks at it out their front window, Katie, one of the girls that works there, she said, I get to look at it all day. Now, in addition to that, I have kind of put out there critiques, because I think that that's important for a piece of public art. Somebody's first pass, the first impression, isn't necessarily like the final revision of what it's going to be. And I've gotten some good feedback. And if we could, I kind of want to tie this into Escondido Art a little bit. If you put on that other slide. This is Xavier Dion. And he's 13, I believe. He's much taller than I am, so it's hard to touch. But he's autistic, and he's near nonverbal. And I saw him at one of the pop-ups on the Saturday pop-up shows. He had a booth there. And I was just really inspired by his work, by how free his expression was. And I invited him to participate in Escondido Art, and he did. And I have to say, him being there and his smile was one of the most touching things that I've ever seen. So in the center of this, there's these two figures, and it's two people hugging. And I actually asked him if I could, if he would be okay if I tried to incorporate that, use something along that messaging to tie it into my piece, into the background in some way, to hammer home the human aspect of it. So that's not reflected quite in this design, but I think it will get there. And I think that sums it up. Y'all have questions?
How long do you believe this will take you from the beginning to the end?
2 to 3 months. I'm shooting for 2, but it's possible it will take longer. Weather and different things permitting.
And the landowner has agreed to let you keep it up as long as the city wants.
Yeah, absolutely. So he and I, we're going to commit to maintaining it for 5 years, which is, I believe, what the Public Art Commission is asking for. But the plan is that it'll last much longer than that. There's actually this organization out of LA called SPARK, Supporting Art Right Now. They've been around for about 25 years, and they largely work with public art, mural installation, things of that nature. And they've developed 2 really great products to protect the paintings that they support, which I plan on using. One of them is a coating that, on top of making sure that the inks and the pigments that are used in the paint are metal oxides that weather really well, this first coating will protect it from UV damage and things of that nature. And then the second coating, it's actually called World's Best Graffiti coating. And it's a pretty novel idea. It's an ablative coating, meaning that it can be removed. So you have the pigment, then you have this almost hard shell protectant for UV, and then you have this ablative layer. And if anything happens to it, damage in any way, whether it's be from weather and sun or vandalism, graffiti, whatever, with hot water and a power washer, that layer can be removed and it doesn't damage the painting below it in any way, and it can be reapplied. These people have paintings that have been out for 20 years using the system, and they're still beautiful.
It's wonderful. And how long from, I don't know whether I call it the nose to the tail, but how long will it be? I didn't have it. Oh, I see it, 46 feet by.
Oh, how long? How big? Yeah. So it's 46 feet wide, 20 feet tall. In the prototype, you'll have a large version of. There's a door which I put in there, and also some conduit and some vents. For reference, that door is 8 foot by 4 foot. So it's quite large, and the painting will adhere directly to the surface, and the surface is in really great condition, which is wonderful. And it'll go in it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for the discount.
Can you show the slide where the wall is? So what about that volume on the left? Is that what is that?
The what?
That volume, that white box on the left top.
That is a parapet that's part of the design of the building itself. It doesn't actually do anything, and the owner isn't a huge fan of it, but it's there. So, you know, it would obviously take something more than a mural to address that. One of the things that I would like to do with that, actually I'm glad you brought it up, is at least on this face where we're looking at it on the mural, is to paint it with colors from within the mural.
Right.
So under this whale, I have 2 grays, one under the fin and then on his belly. I was thinking for the face there. And then on the strip on the left at the top on the parapet, picking one of these colors, either one of the oranges or the blues. We'll have to see what works there so that when you're looking at it at a distance, it's sort of seamless.
Right. I would assume if you painted blue, it kind of would be sky blue, it would disappear.
Yeah.
Right? Or the color of the background.
Exactly.
So let's see. I wanted to ask something about the procedure because you're the first project that comes through with the new policy.
Okay.
So how did it go, Danielle? Was first?
Well, I think you should ask him how it went. Because we talked about that he was going to be the first project that goes through. Didn't go exactly as planned. We didn't meet with the mural subcommittee, but since most of you are part of this commission, we want this to move along quickly. So we just said, okay, we can skip that meeting this time. We did see the appearance committee, which I think went well. It went very smooth. They supported the project. We talked about traffic control in the alley. We talked about notifying the businesses. So I think it went very well. I think we covered everything, and we'll just see how it goes from here on out. But we would obviously love for Tristan to provide us feedback on the process and how we can improve anything if need be.
Yeah. So I'm thinking instead of skipping, so today we're here to approve the project, right? Basically? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. But I still think we should go ahead and have the mural subcommittee see it and have feedback because the other members of that committee have no idea about this project. But maybe we can move forward, approve it going back to the subcommittee and get feedback from them.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. We have a meeting this Thursday. So we can, and Tristan, you can be included in that or not. I'm sorry, do you want to?
Yeah. So I think in the spirit, because the mural committee is so new and we're still trying to figure out its kinks, one of those things being figuring out a good time to meet and how we're going to meet and that sort of thing. And I am a little to blame for this because of my schedule in the last month has been all over the place. But I don't want those things to prevent these projects from happening. Right. So I would be completely okay with us skipping the mural committee portion this one time, just to kind of expedite the process and get some art up in our community. So I would be first. I'd be okay with that if you would be.
I think we could approve it, but still go ahead and meet and have a discussion. I think out of the committee needs to be part of it. Tristan and I talked about it. He knows my opinion. I love the piece. It's striking. It's gorgeous. my vision of murals is a little bit different of what I'm seeing, and what I told Tristan was that most murals are a story, and you kind of follow the story as the mural progresses. This one is more of, you're gonna have to find out the story. It's not there for you, which I also love that idea. I love the idea of the public being actively involved and not giving them answers. But I think the subcommittee should have just a conversation about it, because this would be the first mural. And I think it's just
I
respectful.
I
Yeah?
welcome that. I'm actually going to be out of town this Thursday or next Thursday?
This Thursday.
This Thursday. I'll be out of town, but I'll be available by phone. Perhaps I could join the meeting that way if there's questions. I'd really like, feedback, because it is a piece of public art. For me, it means a lot. I get a lot out of putting it out there, but I want it to be embraced by everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Does it have to be this Thursday?
Oh, that's what I was actually going to bring up during our mural committee part in our agenda today. So.
It doesn't have to be. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so it doesn't have to be this Thursday, but yeah, because invitations aren't going out yet either. So yeah.
Any more questions? Matt, do you have any questions? No?
Being practical, we've changed so many of our streets in Escondido, and I see that's a pretty wide alley, one way. Won't ever be a possibility that they will allow parking along there. Is that correct? Or do you know?
I don't foresee that happening.
No.
Yeah.
Good, I think it's beautiful.
Oh,
It's whimsical, and you get to make your own meaning behind it.
Exactly. I mean, for me, I kind of like putting that layering and that depth. And I mean, that goes not just to the messaging and to the viewer's interaction with it, but also my technique in art in general. I use a lot of layers. Some of my stuff is thin coats on coats, so you get this depth and texture to it, and that translates into the message as well as the image.
So as we move forward to approve it, can we have the lighting as part of the approval, meaning that it's not questionable that it will happen?
There will be light.
It will be lightning, and we've been promoting solar, so that would be awesome, right?
Yeah, the company, if you'll care, they've actually just opened an office
Mhm.
down here, their main office in downtown, off on East Valley Parkway. A live solar roofing. And I've been speaking with the owner about that, and he's very receptive to being a sponsor to it. So however it works out, we'll have something else.
And my last question is, so you have allotted $2,000 for maintenance, and you're saying to do it for 5 years. You think, and I think it will last longer, but at 5 years, what would happen then? Let's say there's a problem.
My understanding of that I want to see it last as long as it can. So if something happens to it after that, I'm available for it. My understanding of the way that this process works is that at that point it reverts to the building owner, to their responsibility.
Mhm.
In which case it would become his responsibility and my relationship with him to maintain.
That's correct.
And he has accepted that responsibility after 5 years?
I don't know that he's accepted it for
Forever.
20-year lifetime, but he's embraced the project wholeheartedly. He wants it there. He's excited about it. He basically said that, whatever we can do to make it happen, we'll make it happen.
Okay. Well, any more questions?
No, I just wanted to make a comment. I think this art piece is amazing. And, the whole concept of whales, just knowing, their migration patterns and everything as far as like how they, so my family's from Cihuatanejo, and, and we lived in Hawaii for a little bit, and one of the constants was the humpback whale coming in through that my parents' hometown, and then also being able to see it there as well. And I think just the whole concept of like the environmental importance of maintaining our environment, and I think just the whole concept of having this art piece sort of like you said, ask the public to really be a part of this story. And,
It's interactive.
it's very interactive, and yeah, I wholeheartedly support this. This is really cool.
I'm excited to see downtown little by little becoming this. You know, we have a jewel little city. We know that. But it's getting better and better, and I'm just so excited. So we need a motion, people. Come
I'll motion.
on. I think you need to specify what you are making a motion about.
I motion to approve the funding for this project.
You mean the mural proposal for 155 South June?
That's exactly right.
Second? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you all.
This is exciting, isn't it? Okay, so the next one is another exciting project, Palomar Heights Palomar. Nina Hammond is here. I have met her on Zoom. Oh, there you are. Oh, sorry. There you are. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. I don't know if any of you, I think Terry, you had an opportunity to see the pieces for this project, for the Palomar Heights, right? And you had a chance to vote on it, right?
I did,
Did you get a chance to see it? No? Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Nania Hammond, and I'm with Integral Communities, and we're responsible for the Palomar Heights project. I have a short presentation, and it does include some information about the project for those of you who may or may not be aware, but it's the redevelopment of the downtown Palomar Health Hospital campus. And as part of the project, we are really excited to bring you some public art with the community. I know there's a video in it, so it's just gonna give her a moment. She's so kind of like me in October. So bear with us. But as we open it, for those of you that are familiar with the site, we actually have started demolition on the hospital, which we're very excited about. It commenced about a month ago, and we're starting to take down the big buildings. We've shut off all the utilities, and we're expecting demolition to be complete in January of next year. From the beginning, think from the top. So this is the Palomar Heights project, and as we looked at the redevelopment of the hospital, you know, that site is really iconic, was a word that we heard used over and over and over. And as we were trying to reimagine the life of that area, it's an interesting site because it's a hospital. It's almost municipal in its use. There's a lot of wonderful memories there, but, you know, at the same time, they're a healthcare provider. So we wanted to make it new and invigorated and exciting and be a part of this jewel of downtown Escondido. So we focused on bringing all of the development closer to the corner of Grand and Valley Boulevard, and also, Grand and Valley Boulevard, as you see here. We worked on this corner element, both curating the uses and the height and the architectural design so that it rises 75 feet in height. The architectural structure that you see at the top actually is the tip of the cap to the original City Hall architecture that was on the site. It was also home to the City of Escondido's fire station and police station at one time. So the site has a lot of historical, interesting elements. In playing with the downtown vision statement, we really wanted to be a part of this dynamic, attractive, and also economically vital city center. And one of the things when we looked at bringing the community forward was, well, we could contribute through fees to the public art program, or we could build it. And we really felt passionately about being a part of the community and building it with the project, so that one, it was ensured to come forward, two, that the artists got the benefit of us installing major infrastructure. So any water needs, power needs, and subterranean infrastructure will be provided as part of our off-site and on-site infrastructure improvements. Just to give you a little bit of an overview to help you get your bearings, the site is quite broad. So I think many of you, if you were to drive by, you would think of the teardrop campus as the main portion where the hospital lies today. There's also the office building at what's 456 Grand. It's across Valley Boulevard. That's a part of the site, as well as some ancillary buildings on the corner of Fig and Grand Avenue. So we've incorporated them all into the project with a variety of different uses. Residential, which includes apartments as well as for sale, and then the dark brown includes senior living. And then we have two focused commercial corners on either side of Valley Boulevard and Grand Avenue. And so what that makes up is a total of 510 residential units, and the breakdown is attached, and then about 10,000 square feet of commercial space, with the most prominent of the commercial uses being a full-service restaurant and bar at the top of the 75-foot tower. And this is actually a video, and well, I'm happy to show it. It takes you down Valley Boulevard because we are redesigning Valley Boulevard. And I think it's beneficial if you can click right here. Yes. So two of the public art pieces will be located on either corner. You can see ideas of those locations. We've narrowed this street down, and we are changing it so that it's only a northeastern path of travel. In necking that down, it provided us an area for more paseos, for more plazas, and for more public art. And then we just passed the Valley Parkway intersection and Valley Boulevard, which is where there'll be the third piece of public art. And I have a stationary depiction of this, as well as a downtown gateway entry sign. And then this, we prepared for Planning Commission and City Council so you can see what the interior of the community will look like with its amenities. And that's the rec building and of course the pool and spa. Thank you. So as far as the public art process has gone from our perspective, we started talking with the city, and we developed an advisory committee, which includes Melissa Walker, Beth Marino, Brian Murphy, Susan Pollock, Jerry Van Leeuwen, Mikey Farron, and your own commissioner, Anne Marie Velasco. We started with 11 artists. We developed kind of an interest list. We had some phone calls to discuss who could potentially be a good use for the different areas that we were talking about. That list then narrowed based on their interest in the project. They developed maquettes for viewing, and we showed those on display at Distinction Gallery, and we have now selected our finalists with a plan for installation in the spring of 2022. So here's the map location of the art. So location 1 is in front of that large icon tower. It's farther down towards the corner. On the opposite corner of Valley Boulevard is location 2. And then location 3 will be home to actually 2 pieces of public art. It will be home to the gateway entry sign that we had planned, as well as a piece of public art in that corner. And as that sits today, that's unused striped asphalt. So it's a great improvement to that eastern gateway for downtown.
So that would be location 4 that we didn't know.
It's like 3 and 4 kind of high. Yes, yes. And this is also a video. This is the artists themselves with their submissions to give you some flavor. And there's sound if it's up.
No sound. She's a local artist, I believe, right? Melissa?
Yes, that's who you go with. Who we have here? She didn't narrate. We're fortunate enough to have all the artists here with us today.
Oh, wonderful.
There we go. I'm sorry.
Hello, my name is Melissa Ralston. I'm a long-term Escondido resident and a working metal artist. Today I'm going to introduce my submission for the Pacific Heights project, location 3. This is Aspire 2. The original Aspire was a commissioned piece by the City of Vista for the Paseo Santa Fe Roundabout Project Phase 2. Since the installation of that piece, my partner and I, Robert Rosine, have received several inquiries about duplicating that sculpture. We have since decided to do it in a series. We will use the basic fundamental shape, yet we will add individual unique elements for each location, creating an original sculpture for that location. I'm aware that they were asking for a shade structure, so we have decided to take the basic structure and add this element of brushed stainless steel perforated shade leaves, creating that shade environment. The human tree form figures will be made from Corten steel with that beautiful natural rust patina, and then the contrast of the brushed stainless adds a really nice element. I'm also aware that they were looking for historical significance in this particular location. And I think that can be achieved in the signage aspect or the low retaining wall. We also thought that it would be wonderful to add and complete this project with these leaf-like love seats made from the same perforated stainless steel. I think it beautifully completes this project and makes a spectacular plaza. It's fun, it's engaging, and it's sculptural, it's artistic, it's functional. I think it's a beautiful piece in itself.
Hello, I'm Amos Robinson, and thank you for this opportunity to present Beacon. I'm a local San Diego artist and currently have 25 permanent public art installations. Beacon is a unique motorized kinetic sculpture with a slow-rotating top piece that contains an illuminated infinity mirror. The piece is designed to have a strong presence standing out both day and night. A beacon, as you know, is a structural guide at all times. Its light a signal in the dark. The sculpture is a modern take on that concept. And my expectation is that it will become a landmark associated with Palomar Heights project. During daylight hours, the motor drive and lights can be on or off. Either way, Beacon is a visually appealing contemporary sculpture that complements the planned building and plaza on the site. Illuminated at night, Beacon will live up to its name. I designed my sculpture to be robust and easy to service and maintain. Beacon will be fabricated from brushed stainless steel. This material requires minimal maintenance. We will provide a replacement parts list, video instructions, and written maintenance guidelines on any service that may be required. I am honored to be considered for this exciting project and look forward to bringing a beacon of art to the Palomar Heights.
This is a kinetic sculpture that is a collaboration between Deanne Sabick and myself. I supplied the kinetic elements to this, and Deanne has done the very lovely glass, and you can't see the reflection on the ground right now, but with sunlight, this is really doubly spectacular. But anyways, it's called Spectral Obelisk. And parts are made out of titanium, glass, dichroic glass, and bearings.
So this is a depiction of the sign that will be installed. Oops. Yeah, that's okay. I brought another image of it too, but that was a depiction quickly of the sign. That's okay, it'll be installed right here. So if you're driving down Valley Parkway, where you used to be able to go left onto Valley Boulevard, that movement will be changed with the project. We'll only be able to continue down Valley Parkway. And the intention is that we'll work with Carol and James Stone to install a historic downtown Escondido sign. And if we keep going, you can see the depiction one more time, right here. So the letters are to stand out from the steel background, depicting historic downtown. They pulled in the elements, including the dome and the old Palomar Hospital and the train station, as well as the clock towers. And it's anticipated to be 10 by 4 feet. And then that will be lit as well.
Then height?
4 feet.
14 high.
4 feet high, 10 feet wide.
Okay, got it.
And kind of wrapping around. So we have to install a block wall as part of just sort of a safety barrier for traffic. So this would then come out in front of the block wall, but sort of wrap around it.
The tree goes behind. The metal tree goes
The
behind.
metal tree goes behind, that's exactly right. And then this is what the building will look like at location 2, the opposite side, which is the spectral obelisk location. And on the, in front of the tower is the area for Amos's beacon location.
Mhm.
And then last but not least, this is a rendering of just from the top of the tower looking down to give you an idea of what that view shed will look like as well. So we wanted to come introduce ourselves to you. We wanted to bring you forward what we think are some good ideas for the project. We of course wanted to hear any feedback that you have about the artistry. The artists are all here. We're so grateful to them for their hard work. They put together maquettes. Maybe some of you had the opportunity to see them at Distinction Art Gallery. So we're here to share tonight. Thank you very much. And answer any questions.
I just have a comment.
Sure.
I'm so excited about this, and thank you all for submitting such beautiful artwork. And actually, I'm very excited because everyone I voted for got in. I'm very excited about it. And I love the way they have sort of a common theme, but at the same time very distinctively different, so that the public in Escondido will be able to enjoy this for many years to come. So thank you so much for your beautiful artwork.
They did a magnificent
Thank
job.
you.
Yes. Their beacon, I think, is over here,
Yep.
right? And
Amos.
in the back, I don't know, behind Tristan, is it?
No.
Okay, and then Escondido resident?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the mobile piece, and
Carol
then
and James.
here, and then the sign
Sign.
right here. Yeah, yeah, same with me. I fell in love with the pieces, so they were approved. I was really excited. Melissa, I fell in love with your tree in Vista, and I wanted to contact you and say if you would be interested in coming over here and do something when I heard all of this. So it's just getting fantastic. I have questions though. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Palomar first. Okay, so you showed trees. Is that part of the project? Are trees included as part of the development?
Street trees,
On the streets, in the development, everything?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that is,
they'll be treated like urban street trees, well, we have to have grades, but yes.
yeah, okay.
They're not gonna be the big eucalyptus that you see today.
Okay.
Those are coming in.
And then the height for the location 2, the mobile, for some reason when I read the specification, I thought it was higher. So how high is that Because I see him next to you.
Yeah,
How-
that was just a little mock-up.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, the real piece, how tall will that be?
I think we're looking at about 14 feet,
Awesome, okay.
and so you should have probably somewhere between 9 and 10 feet of clearance between the ground and the moving parts.
Okay. And I love the way it played with the light and the surroundings, and that provided another aspect of it, or another. But at night, there won't be any light, right?
We'll put in lighting, yes.
Yeah,
We'll
no,
work with them.
and it's on the, there's a commercial corner right behind it, and it's also in front of the traffic signal, so that corner will be well lit, but we'll make sure that it's artistically well lit.
Yeah.
Safety and well lit.
Because they'll be breathtaking at night when you're driving, right? Okay, and I think I saw the sign, but I wasn't sure where it was going, so now we know, so that's gonna be awesome. So yeah, I'm all for it, 100%.
Sorry if I missed this, but the funding is coming from Palomar Heights?
Yes,
For
we're
this?
paying,
Okay.
yeah, we're paying for the installation of the art, paying the artist directly for the installation, we're also paying for the infrastructure, and then we have reserve funds for the long-term maintenance. So that's part of the contract.
That's also 5 years only, or
No,
you said
it's
long-term?
Long-term.
Okay. Good. Any other comments? I don't think this is a voting, no, it's just an acknowledging, right? Yeah, we're really excited, and congratulations to the artists that are here. We're so proud to have your art in our city, that you would consider us. I'm telling you, when we're done, well, we'll never be done, right? We always be moving forward, but as we're moving forward, believe me, we are gonna become a destination city, and the art is gonna be the main part of it. So, thank you very much. Thank you.
It's exciting.
Cocktails on Amber?
Are we getting into something kind of maybe boring for you? I don't know. Are they, if they want to leave, they can leave, right? We won't be offended.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nina, I think you did an amazing job.
Oh, thank you.
Presentation.
Thank you very
I
much.
think it was very clear.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, and we're happy to distribute that if
Thank
you
you.
want any of the images or anything.
You know, Nina, another thing I forgot, somewhere it was mentioned that we could look at the pieces that were not selected for future possibilities, and I would love, yeah, I would like to hear more about each of the pieces.
I heard what you said.
There are opportunities for murals as well.
Okay. Fantastic.
problems again?
Never,
Well, I would say.
breaking ground on the construction comes in January, February, and then it's like a 5-year
I can work in that restaurant, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, so great to meet you. I really appreciate it. We're so excited.
And if you get some time, I can come up with. I'd like to take a couple.
Okay.
Maybe put a little line of LEDs there, so it's Christmas time, something like that.
The hospital, they have a Christmas tree light.
All right, we'll move forward with, we lost our audience, well, no, we still have some. So the item 3, the RFP, referral for project for public art master plan. And Danielle, you are the one.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to pull up the presentation from our previous meeting and just pull up a slide or two here. Oh. Okay. So last time we met, we talked about public art master planning, what a master plan is, why it's important. I included a draft of the RFP, the request for proposal, and I asked that you provide feedback over the next couple of weeks, following that meeting, and then we would be reviewing it again today. So just again, what a master plan is, it's a visioning tool. It will help us prioritize where we want our art, what art we want, do we want a theme, things like that. It'll identify opportunities for art, locations, goals that we have, short and long, however we want to structure the master plan is really up to us. Another important part of this, like I was saying at the last meeting, is the policies. I really think we need to drill down on our policies and our procedures to really streamline those and make it so that all these artists that are emerging, they come to the city and it's a seamless process for them, and we seem like we're welcoming the art and we're getting it in here in a very efficient and effective manner. Again, why it's important, it creates a strong foundation, it creates a plan. The public art division, it could move around if someone else takes it over. We have a solid plan for what we want. Art commissioners change, they come in and out, and this way, there's already, we already have a defined direction on where we want to go as a city with our public art. This was a sample of some costs that we got. There was a huge range, and we talked about some, why some of those things were. And then we reviewed the public art master plan, the different pieces of it, or the master plan RFP, and discussed those a little bit, just so that you knew what I was including in there. And then, again, I asked you to provide feedback. So at this point, with this agenda that I sent out, I incorporated our city manager, my boss, Joanna Axelrod, reviewed the plan, and she gave me her feedback. Our city attorneys have reviewed it. Hopefully you guys have taken a look at it. I did receive comments from Commissioner Vargas. We can go over, I brought those with me, I can go over those with you. But I was hoping that you've had an opportunity to review it, and we can talk about the things you like, don't like, changes you'd like to see, and then if we could vote on whether you support moving forward with the RFP or not.
So I have questions. First of all, I did not have a chance to review these, except since I got the minutes, which was last week, I think. But we're talking about the process, right? We're not talking about the master plan yet. We're just talking
correct.
about the referral for proposal.
Correct.
Right? That's what you're talking about.
Correct.
So I have a few questions. One of it is that this master plan, and you show the amount of money. I think when I talked to you, you said around 80, so it's kind of in between. And I don't know if you're aware that I believe this commission would be paying for it, right?
The public art dollars, yes, would be paying for it.
The public art dollars.
Yes. So the public art fees that we collect,
Right.
which would pay for, art installations as well, would pay for this. Right now, we have about $156,000 that's unallocated to projects. And as you know, we get an influx of money every year in June, July-ish.
Yeah.
And that comes from development fees. So like the project that we just saw, Palomar Heights, they would typically pay a public art development fee, but they're installing the art in lieu of paying that fee.
Mm-hmm.
Most developers don't do that. Most developers just pay the fee, and then it's up to us to install art however we see fit.
Is that 1%? What is the percentage on that?
I had it in here. It's like I'll get it to you. But it's not 1%, I know that. But yeah, it's based on the square footage of the development.
I think it's linear footage. I think it goes linear foot, 30 cents per linear foot.
I think you're right, I think it is 30. And
30 cents.
there were two different, it was in the original RFP, and in the revision it got pulled out.
So we need that page to be added to our handbook. It was removed for some reason. I used to have it originally, way back then. And it's no longer there, so the new commissioners haven't seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so I wanted to suggest something, and I know today you want us, because you want to have this in front of City Council when? Do you have a date? I think I saw a date.
Well, this process, when I mapped out the process, it'll take we'll have a final revision of this. I don't know if you guys if you need more time to review it and give me your feedback. I can give you another week if you need it. Otherwise, then I would like to get this out to the public. The attorneys will review it one more time. I would like to get it out to the public maybe next week. It stays open for 4 weeks typically for people to respond. And then there's a whole review period, an interview period, and then negotiating of the contract. So when I did the timeline, it's looking more like the beginning of the year is when we would actually have a contract in place and start the master planning process, which then would be about probably an 18-month process or something like that.
Does it have to be, remember, that long? And that in the meantime, so this would be my question, in the meantime, we conduct business as usual?
Yes.
All right. So I'm looking at the tentative schedule, and this is already October 11th today. And deadline for submission of question no later than November 1st. Submission deadline.
I mean,
no.
I will adjust that. I will adjust those dates depending on when it goes out.
It's
So
too
we
soon.
kind of give it, it's usually out for 2 weeks and then we request questions come in. So depending on when we actually get that out, that timeline will be bumped back.
Okay. Okay, you have City Council approval of contract, December 20, so maybe not to notice to proceed. I don't know, commissioners, did you get a chance to look at the process? I mean, I haven't, so.
I think it's a pretty straightforward document. Like I said, if you need a couple more days, I'm happy to provide that.
So you said the city manager or attorney saw it? Who else?
City attorneys and then Joanna Axelrod, who is the deputy city manager and my
Okay.
boss.
Right.
And Marie, I think it's really important that you review it, so maybe 2-3 days?
Yeah, this was so helpful. I mean, I read it through and through and underlined, components.
You want to talk about what that is? Because I don't know if they...
This is the Santa Rosa one, the Santa Rosa Public Art Master Plan, and it's quite comprehensive, and it involved, which I think in a way we kind of were moving in that direction because we start with a vision and a mission, and then, but then it has guidelines and it has procedures and it has participation from the public, which wasn't part of our mission, and vision. I also think it's really important to have an art coordinator. I do believe that that's one of the problems we're having, where staff has been assigned to these without, I think, any extra support. So that would be something that we need. And then this commission would be part of that process. But we would be only one component of many other components that would be part of this process, that these people would go through this, whoever applies and gets the commission to do these.
Yeah.
I would like for the other commissioners to get access to this document, kind of peruse it, and you'll see how involved it is. It's quite a bit. And my concern, I have a few concerns. By having a master plan, would it stop, because one of the things is you approve a yearly proposal, basically you approve a year ahead what you're going to be focusing for that year, which makes me think that part of the dynamic process we're having now, which I know for us I think is great, but probably for staff is not, because things are just coming without any, no timeline, but that would be left out. I think basically once you approve, but maybe we don't have to.
No, I was just going to say that, yeah, I don't think, just because they wrote theirs that way, we don't have to do ours that way. We don't have to have an annual plan. We can take things as they come, or we can have the annual plan and also have the flexibility
Exactly.
to receive any proposals throughout the year that maybe don't fit into that
Mhm.
and review those on a case by case. That's the thing. We will write that plan. The consultant that we hire is our client, right? So they will do however we want that plan to be, they will do that for us.
And so it's really important that all of us understand the process. You know what I mean? Because once we approve that, then whoever we hire is going to follow that because we approved it. You see? So a few more days, maybe?
I think so, because you've been out of the country.
Yeah, I haven't
You haven't
seen
had
this
an
at this.
opportunity.
Yeah. So can we do that? Can we have until next week to get back to you on if we have any questions or whatever? We can do it directly to you, maybe?
Yes. So can we, today I would just ask that we approve moving forward with the RFP and the use of public art funds to do so. But as far as the content, yes, you can have another week to provide any more feedback you want.
Okay, so we are saying okay for us to fund this.
So we're saying, okay, I'm sorry, are we saying okay to approve the RFP as it stands here, as everything that's outlined in this document today, or do we still have time to give input on what we want that RFP to look like?
You would still have time to provide input on the information that's provided in the RFP. Do you think you'll have more changes?
No,
Okay.
I think you said there was a couple of changes in this one, so I do want to give
Okay.
some time to check it out but double check. But so the comments that I've already made, they're not reflected in this yet. Are
They are not.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that RFP, if we do whatever we decide to okay, we still have an opportunity to still provide comments for that RFP.
And there actually will be, the RFP is just, so it's a request for proposal. When we get those proposals in, you'll see that's written in there that have the opportunity to interview the consultants that apply for this, and we can negotiate what we want. So that's really where the work is going to happen. This is really just a solicitation to get them in, right? And then once we have them in and we read about their background and what they want to provide to us, then we have the opportunity to really work with them on the specifics and really negotiate the terms and things.
Are we involved in that at all?
Yes, that was one of the suggestions. The interview process will include at least 2 of the public art commissioners.
Okay, sounds good.
Now, that's not going to be written in here. We don't outline in here who's on the review committee, but that's just, we'll be sure to do that.
Yeah, so let me read it. I haven't read it, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
But so today we're just approving whether or not we want an RFP.
Correct.
I think it's a good idea. We do need one.
Yeah. Okay.
Because as we started, I started, 3 years ago with Matt at the same time, there's never been a master plan. And that was one of the reasons why I felt we needed to have a vision and a mission. We come in and out. We could be dead tomorrow, and there's nothing to follow. There's no path or road to move ahead. And then, we're just one piece of the puzzle. And so, yeah, we need one.
Yeah, I think the master plan and having, I guess, that assistance with figuring out what that master plan is going to look
So
like.
this is just, yeah.
So we're today, just to clarify again, we're just approving whether or not we want an RFP, but what the RFP itself looks like, we still have time to give our input on.
Yeah.
Right?
And in the meantime, can we give this to, I think it would be so instructional to give them a copy.
Sure.
You made a copy for me, but I think
I
it's,
have it electronically. I can share that.
you'll see the scope of what a master plan looks like and what it entails. Okay? Good luck having time to read.
Yeah, so just clarity for the minutes. So as I am understanding this, if you are to vote on this today, you're voting to approve an RFP, you're going to provide additional comments to Danielle within the next few days or next week or so. Danielle, if you clarify, the RFP is going out beginning of November, is that correct?
I would like to get the RFP out by the end of October, in the next week or 2.
So the only thing I would say then is by doing that, because there's not another public art commission meeting between now and then. So as long as your motion is that you're tentatively giving approval to the recommendations of the other commissioners, because whatever language that's going to be forwarded to Danielle, she's going to have to fold it into the RFP, and it sounds like you will not be reviewing that before approving it again. So I would just make sure your motion clarifies that, if that makes sense.
Well, maybe you should say.
Sorry.
So say the motion.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
about that?
So you move to tentatively approve the RFP with the additional edits that are going to be suggested by the other commissioners. That's how I would make that motion.
You say. That's the motion. Can we just say that is the motion? And
Thank you.
Oh, sure.
That is the motion. Anybody second it?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and second.
Okay, and all those in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thank you, Zach.
Moving right along. Liaison report, you have a lot to report.
Okay, let's see.
You can, any of you want to go over this with the highlights and all?
Yeah, you want to make this copy?
No, but you can read it. Okay, go for it. Okay,
I can send it electronically as well.
already?
Oh, you know what? Okay, so the Washington Park ribbon cutting for the student art. We finalized the contract with the with Signpost today. We got the last little piece of their insurance that we needed. So that was done today. We are still working with the school district. We're working with a gentleman named Nick, who's the director of their purchasing and risk department. And we are very close to having that finalized with him as well. So, Councilmember Velasco, thank you for sending me that video of the alley art, because I think we should do something similar to that, where we have, the rope going across the art piece and have the students cut the rope. I think that would be really fun. I will be working with Paula from the district. She is their outreach or community relations officer. So we'll work with her to get the parents, students, teachers involved. We'll have the mayor and the council out at Washington Park. I don't have a definitive date at this point. I think we need to we need time to promote the opening or the unveiling. I know we would like to put it out on social media at least in a week in advance. And then I'll have to check with the council for their calendar schedules, but we will definitely be getting something on the books here soon. I have to check in with Signpost. I don't know what their availability is. There are some logistics. Our public works team has agreed to power wash the wall before originally the school district was going to do it, but there's like some stormwater things we have to make sure that we are doing it properly. So our public works team has agreed to do that for us, so I need to give them notice to do that. So it's coming. I'm sorry it didn't happen in coordination with the Washington Park skate park grand opening, but it was probably a blessing in disguise, because there was just so many people, and I don't think the student artists would have gotten the attention that they deserve. Also, a few of our council members and our city manager had to leave directly following the ribbon cutting. So there was a lot of grand openings that day. There was the 5K downtown, there was the alley art opening, they had other events going on. So it was a very busy day. So it'll be important to coordinate with them to make sure that we have their full attention.
So I'm looking at the calendar, and this is a request. You don't think it could happen before the end of the month?
I think it could happen before the end of the month, yes.
Because I'm going to be having surgery at the beginning of November, and I do not want to miss it. Okay. I really want to be there. So, and it could be wait a minute. Weekdays, you work until can you get permission for something?
Yeah, I mean, this
the
would be on a
students,
weekend, right?
It would be on a weekend. Yeah, I don't think we wouldn't be, or we could do it in the late afternoon, but the students will be in school, so it's going to have to be
the 30th, maybe.
Saturday?
I'm looking at October the 30th, just to give you more time, because the 11th would be this full week, the next full week, so that would be good. if it's possible, that's 2 full weeks until then. And I'll make sure that that we're all here, hopefully. You?
Yes, but just a little side note. A lot of Halloween parties that students.
But this is in the morning.
Right, so what time would it be? That's my,
This would,
question.
Probably 10 a.m.
Oh,
yeah. And can we invite all schools, I mean, the participant schools would be invited, right? The 3 high schools. All
Now,
right.
what would we be able to? I mean, the ribbon cutting for the skate park was pretty big. You know, we even had like a couple food trucks out there, and I mean, I don't know how 2 weeks might be a little hard to coordinate something of that scale, but I mean, I just want to build that excitement for the students and to understand that the city values their art, and I think, I don't know, just having, you know, music or something to like really liven up the
Yeah, music would be nice.
no, yeah.
I don't know about food trucks, but.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's what happened. I was there at the Washington Park skate park opening, which is amazing. I was so happy that finally happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
Music for sure.
that engagement, that youth engagement was super awesome to see at the
Yeah.
skate park unveiling, and be maybe not in the same
Scale.
capacity and scale, but you know, something similar would be
Is-
really awesome.
You think we can pull it through?
We can definitely have music. We have, you know, portable PA systems, and we can get playlists, and we can have that playing. We'll have, you know, the council, typically ribbon cuttings are pretty quick, you know, so we would recognize the students, thank them for their contributions. You know, I would say something very brief, and then the mayor and council members would speak if they like. We cut the ribbon, and that's usually it. But if you want more around it,
I have an idea.
we just need, maybe we can add that to the agenda for the mural subcommittee, and we
Okay.
can talk about that a little bit further, or we don't have to. If we don't meet this week, we may not want to wait for that. So maybe if you just email me your ideas and.
Yeah, I have an idea, and I think it's basically kind of letting the public know of how the process went through, or how it took, sure, the kids, you know, how did it start? And it's almost like a story and to the day, and who played a role in all of these until the day. So I'll talk to you about that. And we can share with the commissioners to see their agreement. But I think every single person that has something to do with this project should be acknowledged.
Okay.
That's my idea.
Yeah. So we want to get a list together of all those people. Yeah, for sure.
All right, I love that. If not, then if it's not possible on the 30th, then I personally cannot be available until the 15th of November at least. I won't be able to participate, so. And I really, really want to be there, so.
Okay, next is utility box art, and I believe one of you asked me to put that on there. I just briefly, I mean, I think we've talked about this before. It's basically another grant program, $500, I believe, per, or maybe it's $100. $100 per utility box. There's an application similar to the mural application. They would just submit that to me. It would come through here, through the commission, so you guys could all see it beforehand. It would go through the appearance committee. It's very similar to the murals, just on a smaller scale. So we have not really published that yet. That's one of the things that's going to be included in our update to our website. And unfortunately, one of the gentlemen that was helping us with the website has left the city, but we have. It's still moving forward. We're collecting data and we're pulling it all together. We just haven't put it up on the website yet, but you should see something soon. By November, when I hope to update the council.
May I ask you, what age group or grade are we talking about?
All ages.
All grade. Wonderful.
Do we know how many boxes are out there?
That's one of the things kind of we're waiting on. Our GIS department is putting together an inventory of those boxes so that we can track which ones. There's quite a few.
So we basically need to get the word out.
Yes. Soon,
That's
yes.
what I'm saying. That would be the beginning of the whole process. A lot of people don't know this is a project that is coming.
Yeah, I let a couple of the artists know. Do you remember the National Fitness Campaign
Yeah.
mural contest? I let a couple of the artists know that submitted for that. I let them know about the project because I thought what they submitted would be perfect for a utility box. And then I just let them know I would follow up with them later when we were ready to move forward. But so yeah, it's not out there completely to the public, but it's been.
So I don't know. This is my opinion. So open for. I really would like to see students more than adult artists be part of that. This is a canvas perfect for young kids, and I would say middle school and high school, and then also even elementary with the support of an adult can also be done. So I really would like to see the thrust of these projects on that students would do it. I don't know how you feel about that.
I fully agree. Matter of fact, in the beginning when we first discussed this, I really was pushing towards the youth in Escondido.
Yep. That's
to be
my.
the ones that are involved in this, because they're the ones that are going to build the future of Escondido.
Yeah.
And so I think it would be a really good idea to get them involved, feel part of the city early on.
Okay, I think how we can accomplish that is, pushing the information out through the district.
That's right.
Pushing it out through, we have resources such as Peach Jar that we can, hey, we have this new program, would you like to volunteer to beautify our city? Something like that. So we can definitely promote in that direction.
If artists start taking over, that I think I would like to say let's allow a 10% for adults, artists, and the rest would be kids or whatever you want to say, 80% or 75, whatever. But yeah, and then the district would be involved. Art teachers should receive a notice and then they can take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the mural that you saw on Escondido Art, the one with the students did, that was a teacher, a friend of mine, David McIntosh, who actually called students he had like almost 20 years ago, and some of them are current, and they did the project, and it's beautiful. You please go and see it. So yeah, let's kind of push for that.
Pillars to the community. I put this on here just to let you know that we had 2 pillars left on Escondido Boulevard, and the week that I was in Philadelphia, so that was September 25th-ish, one of the remaining pillars got vandalized and had to be removed. So we have it over at the Public Works Yard. The artist will come pick it up. I just wanted to make you aware that if you're driving down and you see that there's another one gone, that is why it was really damaged pretty bad. Not to the point where, like the others, we can't really repair. We have to completely rebuild. And he knows, the artist knows, we're on hold with that right now until we figure out something else or another location.
There's a lesson to be learned from that project, and so we need to be aware of that. There's quite a few. Size of the pieces, location of the pieces, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, a learning experience. Mm-hmm.
And then the murals on Center City Parkway. I reached out to Caltrans, and they are receptive of our idea. I got an email from a woman named Karen. Steve is who I was working with at Caltrans. He referred me to Karen. She is the director overseeing our area. So I've asked her to provide me with a couple of dates for Commissioner Velasco and I to meet with her to present our idea and see what next steps would be. So some of the things I think we need to talk to her about are, is there a contract involved on their side? Would they have review of the art? Those types of things. How involved is Caltrans in this process, and where does that fit into ours? So as soon as I get those dates, I did let them know your availability, the 20th to the 25th, you're not available. So just waiting for those dates, and then we'll get something set up. Would you prefer to meet virtually or in person?
I like in person.
Okay.
And also, what was it regarding those 2 murals? That should escape. Okay, it's gone. I'll get back to it. Oh, yes, got it. Do you have any examples or can you find any examples of murals that have been painted and have been in the property of, so we could have a few to show to Karen. They are not in Escondido for sure, but there might be some in San Diego County or in LA County and so on. I'm sure. We're not the only ones.
Yeah, we can search for those and see what we can
And
find.
I'll look for it too. All right, let's move on. Anything else? Any questions?
No subjects.
Okay, so financial report.
The financial report is
The same.
same. It has the new allocations for this year's public art funding. So you'll see that the mural project was increased from 30,000 to 130,000.
Good.
We have the utility box art for 5,000.
Okay.
There was some spending. The maintenance program public art, those dollars that you see there, that $1,500, that was for repair of the community
Oh, wait,
piece.
where are we?
The expenditures, the 1,500, 1581.41, that was for the community piece, the fixing the lights.
Oh. The one from.
Yeah.
Valley and Tulip.
I don't see it here. Where? I don't see it.
It's the second column, expenditures.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
There may be a few other invoices that have trickled in since then, so that may change slightly by, not very much, maybe a couple $100. We were well under budget for that, because I think you guys approved $3,000.
In Califia Education. There has been assigned 28,000 to Queen Califia Education. That fund has never been spent. I think we need to talk about that, maybe have some recommendation from staff as to whether we need to have that amount of money there.
The 28,000, well, that's what we use to print the materials that our docents hand out.
28,000.
I know, well, over years, I mean, and we're talking about printing, now, we have some new developments, we're talking about printing cards with QR codes for people to donate. We're talking about a downtown, well, that's not really Queen Califia, but a map, we're talking about doing downtown, like redoing the I Heart, or the Heart of Escondido art walk map. So,
That would fall under education or under Nikki de Saint Paul?
no, that would fall under education. The Nikki de Saint Paul is more of the
Maintenance?
yeah, it's not maintenance. It's,
Yeah, I know, you don't want to use that, yeah.
Yeah. That would be for new things down there. Maybe, I don't know if we wanted to put in the new information sign or a new kiosk.
That would
We've talked about a kiosk where we could potentially sell merchandise out of. So something like that.
Okay. 50,000 for Escandido Creek Art, which is coming up soon, I think, right? Is that project starting soon, in 6 months or so? When?
Yeah, probably about 6 months. I think we're almost at 90% designs. We should see those in another maybe 2 months or so. And then the project will go out to bid for construction. And once at that point, then we'll probably need to start talking about what kind of public art we want to see on there and coordinating with the timeline of the construction and how that will all fit together.
You know what would be great if they could come and do a presentation. I know you gave us, remember, a summary of an idea, but wouldn't it be wonderful? I don't think anyone here really knows what's going on. We participated as citizens way back then, but what does the project entail? Like there's a bridge going through. There's going to be separate paths, one on each side. I mean, the whole project, could we get a presentation from them to the PAC?
I can certainly ask the consultant if he'll come and do a presentation. They're presenting at the Planning Commission tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Yeah, and they could go forever. Okay. 7 p.m. I'll try, but in the meantime, if you can ask, if they are not objected, it would be lovely to see that, since we have budgeted money for that. And what is this public art administration, 30,000?
We added that this year, and I'm sorry, I didn't add a description of that. It's really it's just another account to take care of, because we have all these new ideas. The thought was that we would buy merchandise potentially with that, because we're looking at partnering with California Center for the Arts and selling, mugs, stickers, bookmarks, T-shirts.
For
that
Queen,
kind of thing.
for Queen Califia?
Yes.
So that would not be included up there. Okay. All right, so 740. And my last thing is, with the 250 for Grand Avenue Art Project, so they came to us once soliciting a certain amount of money, if you remember, for a kiosk, but we haven't done anything with it. And I don't know if there's any way that we could have a conversation with that group and see how we can support them. I did send an email to the person that presented.
Julie?
Yeah, but we haven't heard since then, so that money is stagnant, is there. Maybe we can support in a different way, or maybe she can come up with a similar idea with maybe less than 150,000. I don't know, but it would be nice to continue that conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we certainly can. That project, I think, is going out to bid sometime soon. I have to look, I don't know the exact date, but we can create public art. We can use that for murals along Grand Avenue. We can use it can be used for anything. It's very flexible. It just has to be associated with that project. So once the project is built, I'm not sure how long that will take, but maybe once we see it, there will be, or maybe an artist will reach out to us.
Yeah. And is the flat space piece of land on Grand Avenue and Orange in that corner, that grassy area is that public? Is that belongs to the city?
No, that's privately owned.
Who owns it?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I have looked, because we were considering putting one of our fitness courts at that location.
Oh, I can envision.
No, it's privately owned.
Be nice to know who it is, huh? I mean, it would be beautiful to have art and a fountain and all kinds of stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can look it up.
Okay. Well, okay. That's it. Any other question, everybody?
No, so the Grand Avenue Art Project, so that, I think, Grand Avenue is going to go through a whole transformation, so I think it wouldn't be wise, yet to really do anything there until we kind of have a better idea as far as what that's going to look like. I'd hate to put a mural up and then all of a sudden, oh, just kidding, gotta take it down, because it doesn't coordinate or whatever with the plan, so, yeah, I think.
And the medium may disappear. I believe they were saying maybe it will not. I think it's going to be the medium between two, I don't remember from where to where, but the Juniper to what's the next one down may not be there.
Yeah, it will be removed.
It will be, for sure.
Yes.
And then from there above?
The plan is on the website, if you want to look at it, for the section of Broadway to Maple. So you can see exactly what they're going to do. It's going to be fantastic. I mean, it's just going to completely transform that block. And then there is some additional, a council last week, they approved the ARP funding, the federal funding that the municipalities are receiving for COVID relief. Yes. And part of that is additional improvements to Grand Avenue. So that's we don't know what that's going to look like yet. But the one section, like I said, from Broadway to Maple, that is already planned. That will be going out to bid very soon. So take a look at that and see, what you think. I think one of the mural locations that were identified before was on the Maple Street Plaza, the wall that is, it's a tamale
Yes.
shop. I always like that location, so that's one that we should keep in mind for a mural.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we can incorporate public art, you know, in many different ways throughout those blocks.
Sounds exciting. Okie dokie. All right. And then, so that was financial report, subcommittee updates. I don't know, mural subcommittee, are we having a meeting or not, or when?
I'd like to. Unfortunately, just with all the things that have been going on, and you were out of the country too, so we were just figuring out a good day to figure that out. So I know I had emailed Danielle about possibly having one this week, but I think we're in the same boat again, where I feel that I don't have enough time to really share the meeting, and I just don't feel like it'd be well attended if we sent out the information today, for example.
Maybe next week?
So I'm thinking maybe the following week. Now that I have that, I saw that email with the link that you sent. If we could use the same one.
Yeah, it won't expire. Yeah, you can use that.
Okay, then yeah, I think we could send out. I could send out an invitation to the group today, and then possibly do it next Thursday. I was checking my calendar right now. I think we're okay. So if that's okay with you.
That's fine with me, yeah.
Cool. All right.
I don't know if I can share this about you becoming a new homeowner. I just did.
And we did when you were gone, actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It's been.
Because I didn't, how exciting.
Yeah,
Okay.
but in regard to mural, I know
I have,
there have been
what?
a couple of artists that have reached out and that we're starting to work with as far as putting in murals in the city that are interested in putting in the proposals, just like Tristan did today, to possibly get it funded through our mural program. So I'm super excited to work with these folks, and anybody listening, if you're a muralist and are interested, please reach out to the city, and we'll make sure to help with as much as we can with that.
So this person that we both know doesn't know the process, and so that's why I was asking about Tristan. Is the application up already? Was it uploaded? The application for murals?
No, you have to go through me and I can send it, but I did share it with Juan and I think, or Commissioner Vargas, and he was going to share that with the potential artist.
Which I have,
So-
with the two that I have already.
You already did.
Yeah.
Okay. Because and I told them to go ahead and in the meantime get the letter from the owner and all of that. Okay. So that's moving forward. Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to, since we're talking the mural subcommittee, I don't think I showed you guys this. I wanted to show you the winners of the National Fitness Campaign.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the mural that's going up in Kit Carson Park, Daisy Camacho was our winner. And that is what will be on the back of the court. It also, sorry, I'm not sure why. Let's see. Okay. It's gonna go black again in a couple of minutes, so look real quick. It also incorporates a bio of her on the front side, and if you've seen these fitness courts, it shows, how to use all of the equipment, and it takes little snippets of her art and incorporates it on the front side too. So it's going to be really, really cool. I've seen a rendering of it. We hope that this will be open in the next month. We had an opening scheduled, but we had to postpone it because of a construction issue. So we're just waiting to hear from the shade sail company to make sure that the structure is installed correctly and safe for the public, and then we'll move forward with the opening of that one. The other one is at the library, and this is what will be on the library backside of the fitness court. So it's in the old Escondido neighborhood. The blue, you see the blue, kind of the turquoise here, that is a part of the Escondido City of Choice logo. So he's incorporated that, which I think is really cool. And then, of course, the citrus and the avocados and grapes. So those were our two winners.
Were they
And
three?
This one,
They were not three?
no, we narrowed it down to 3. There are only 2 courts.
Oh, okay.
And then the public voted those 3 got put out to the public, and then they voted, and these 2 were the winners. So this court, we don't think we'll see until the beginning of 2022. That should be going out to bid hopefully this month, and then it'll take some time, you know.
I have a question
Proceed.
about the process. How did you guys choose the locations?
We worked with the company, National Fitness Campaign. They did a really interesting study of what good locations would be based on like pedestrian travel and where we have parks and where we have we have some existing fitness equipment in some of our, like Kit Carson Park and things like that. But anyway, they actually suggested certain areas, and then we looked at them. Some of them were not feasible due to like utilities being underground or something like that, because the footings for the structure have to go pretty deep. So we had some restrictions on where we can put them and where we can't. And we're trying to have them spread out, so it's like a circuit, you know. So we're hitting kind of all of the, you know, all areas of Escondido. Like everyone will have access to one of these.
So we're gonna go northeast maybe next time, if we have any more. Because this is going in the corner of 3rd and
Broadway.
and where there's a grassy area, trees, and a parking area.
Yes.
It's gonna take part of that parking?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just concerned, I'm hoping it will have use. I don't see that as a highly pedestrian area. Old Escondido, elderly people more than anybody, so I'm hoping that it will get used. That's all. I have a concern about that. We'll see. But it's nice looking. All right. Item from commissioners. Do you have, I have the artist rosters, and we have here to talk about that in the future. Where is it standing? The artist rosters, remember we started?
Yes. No, you're fine.
She's like, whoa.
Yeah. Belle is here, our intern. I think I've introduced her before. She's here today observing. She has been working on those rosters. It's pretty much put together. It's just, like I said, that's something that's going on our website update. So we're gathering all those pieces and all that information. Any artists that come about in the meantime, we're adding them. So it's going to be a fluid document, right? We're going to be adding to it constantly. So
How many do you
we've had
have?
a good start.
You think, how many artists altogether?
25, I think.
Okay, so did you receive any response from the Escondido Association, Partnership Association? They have a list of about 100. Did they send you those in?
No.
Did you guys request that from the different art associations that we have? So we have the Partnership Gallery on the corner of Grant and Juniper, that's one. Then we have the Escondido Art Association, who is also on Grant. They have a huge list, so we should have over 100 by now. So that's something you need to kind of work on with Danielle.
Who's the contact at the Escondido Art Association?
I can send you that, but definitely who can help you is Carol.
Yeah, she was here.
Okay.
Carol can help you, but she's not, but she can give you the name of the person. I think I have it. Who else? Magic, that other organization also has a list of artists. So those three, and we'll be over 200 easily. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see it. Okay. Anything else?
No, I think, yeah, just, I think reaching out to our resources here in our city is crucial to try to build it from the inside out, you know, so, yeah, I'm sure we'll see a pretty comprehensive list. I did have a question. I went over to the unveiling of the phase 3 for the art walk, and one of the questions, I guess, was in regard to those funds that we approved at one of our meetings. So I kind of just wanted an update on where we're at with that and helping that go forward.
Yeah, so I just talked to Carol about it today. We're just going to get an updated financial report now that they have phase 3 done. And then once we have that, we can finalize the contract and reimburse their funds.
Okay, cool.
So you think that will happen this year, 2021?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
October, hopefully.
Because one of the reasons why they didn't acknowledge the
Yeah.
PAC at all, I was sad because I was so proud, is because they weren't sure if it was official.
Yeah.
I said it was because it was approved by the PAC, but they didn't know if council had approved that too.
Oh. It
And-
didn't, yeah, it didn't have to go to council because it's coming out of the existing mural CIP.
Yeah,
So, yeah, and they knew, I did communicate that to them, but
they weren't sure, so I said, yeah, we did, I think it's official. All right. Any other items?
Actually, there is. Anne Marie asked me to review the artwork along East Valley Parkway, and it's called Thresholds. And there are numerous amount of time and energy and care in these beautiful structures that you can barely see. So with my husband's help, being my chauffeur, I took pictures of the artwork and when it was appropriate from east and west viewing. And I put on the addresses and gave that to Danielle. And I put reviews on them saying what I thought might initially help. And a lot of it was trimming the palm tree fronds. And much to my surprise, I found out that that was done. Thank you, Danielle. And it did make a big difference on a number of them. Some of them, though, especially the one by IHOP, when you're looking east, there's 3 palm trees there, and even though they got trimmed, they're still blocking the view. And as you know, when you travel along East Valley Parkway, you're not traveling along Grand. It's a faster pace. And so by the time you see some of the artwork, you've already passed it. My philosophy, along with the Public Art Commission's philosophy, is for the public to enjoy art. And I find that some of this art is not being able to be enjoyed, let alone safely, because it's not an area where people are generally walking or cars are going at a slower pace. So a number of them, mostly the IHOP has 3 palm trees, and even though, as I said, they had substantial trimming, regrettably, I feel that some of the palm trees need to be removed. And there's another, I know that's hard, but I encourage everybody to drive headed east, if you know where the IHOP is. And see when you see the art, and by the time you see the art, you've already passed it. And there's 2 other areas where the palm trunks are actually competing with this beautiful artwork. And so that's something to be considered. Also, solar light would greatly enhance it. I don't know whether above solar light would be best. I would think above shooting up, as there are traffic directional signs in front of a lot of the artwork. I'm not sure if the artwork went in first or the signs went in first. But either way, some of them are greatly marred by the appearance of having traffic signs, which are necessary. So it's something to look at. I would also recommend removing some of the bushes that are tall along the bottoms and making it simpler. It's already complicated. You're welcome to review the packets that I did, but some of them now, as of today, are not the current appearance of these thresholds because they've been so nicely trimmed by the city. So we're really thankful that they've done that, and there are a number, though, that need to have some major review as far as maybe taking out a palm tree.
I wanted to add that if the traffic signs can be moved away from the structure so that the drivers can see the direction, usually they're a left turn, I think, but they don't have to be right there. Maybe they can move, 50 feet before, and then everybody knows there's a left turn. That would be one way. The other idea also, beside the lights, is that if perhaps we could do a minimalist landscape, but that would repeat in each structure. So if they see one, then if they see another one, then they would know, okay, this is a series of things. Because right now there isn't. There's nothing cohesive with landscape. So we can finance that, and maybe Public Works can let us know. But minimalist, you know, like you propose.
Yes, Emery, I looked at them from afar and also up close, got out of my car. And I do think minimalist, the simplest way is not use water and to use large river rocks around them, maybe 2 to 2.5 feet of a large river rock going around in a circle, and maybe in a light gray, and then have the outside of that lined with the darker contrasting river rock, because the structures, except for 2, are, I don't know if they're stainless steel or not.
I think they are stainless steel.
They probably are, and so it doesn't have a dramatic look to it, so we should simplify it down at the base. And there's 2 that are painted on the actual bottom base of it, and that's kind of nice too, but even those should have a simpler, low-lining plant, rather than having something that's 2 feet tall as a bush underneath it. So my proposal, just looking at it, would be to go simple and cheap and not use water. The only problem with one of them, the furthest one east, is that it's totally on concrete.
Yeah.
And that one you see better than any of them because it's totally on concrete. But it also needs to be enhanced somehow. And you could still use this rock structure. I don't know whether you want to cement it in or not. But it's up to review by Public Works, yourself, and our committee.
That one is right across from Ralph. It's completely all by itself. It's a lonely piece right there. All right, that's about it. Anything else? Anybody? No? All right, so we can, I guess, adjourn the meeting at 4:41.